मनोरणीयान् महतमह्यानात्मस्य जन्तोर्निहितो गुहाया तमक्रतुः पश्यति वीतशोको धातुः प्रसादान् महिमानमात्मनान्।
ॐ गणानाहं त्वा गणपतिं नमामहे कविं कवीनामुपवस्रवत्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पतः नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्तीरसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेर्वाजनीवति श्रीनामविद्रेवतु। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Welcome back to this continued episode on Mantra number 20 of second Valli of first chapter. We have been seeing that Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atmasi Janto Nigito Guhayam Tamakratu Pashyati Vidashogo Dhatu Prasadhan Mahimanam Atmanaham. This describes about the beauty of Atma, the size of Atma. Can it be seen? Can you make it into what a quantifiable size? No. It is only empirical, and no one can calculate it by sight, walk or speech. So it can be only understood and sensed. So they made a reference to Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan. This is subtlest of the subtlest, the greatest of the greatest. That's what they said. It's only for academic understanding. Now they went in to describe what is Atman, where it is staying, what is Hridayakasha, etc., etc. Then Dakharakasa we have seen. What is Hridaya in Vedanta, what is Hridaya in physics. These are all the things we have seen in the last episode. Now let us continue further. The Buddhi reflects the Atman. It's a reflective Atman. It's an Atman. So one must be clear that the brilliance thrown as reflection in this Hridaya is Ishvara, and the space alone, when referred to as isolated, must be understood as Brahman. Hridayakasha refers to the absolute Chaitanya, its Swarupa as Brahma. Hriti Prana, the heart is the stationing point of Prana. Hriti Buddhau, heart is Sthana of Buddhi. Udayasthana of thoughts is Hridaya. Hridaya Akasha is Chaitanya. Hridayakasha is Jnana Sthana of all Ashraya, the base and the source and the shelter of protection and dependence. Hridaya Akasha is the Layasthana. Every sentient being is able to take shelter with Brahman daily during Dinapralaya. A bird goes out in search of food during the day, moving hither and thither, and gets back to rest during dusk and takes shelter in its nest. The nest is the Hridayasthana, where the jiva gets enfolded. When one wakes up from deep sleep, the buddhi gets unfolded from prana, and the mind and the indriyas and the object gets its appearances one after the other. It comes sequentially. It is a defolding and enfolding process. In a similar way, during day end, the indriyas get enfolded into mind, and the mind into the buddhi, and the buddhi into prana in succession. The stationing point prana is said to be the Hridaya, and therefore Hridaya is the abode of Chaitanya Ishvara. This is sacred down to a size and is quite inexplicable in terms of measure. Tamagratu Prashyati Vidashoka Dhatu Prasasan Mahimanam Atmana. The one desireless Nishkama Purusha, the one who has no passion for worldly desires and wants is able to have a cleansed mind and indriya. This is the very benevolence, a prasadam, a conducive status. The indriyas and the mind gives in turn its contribution to realize the glory of Atman. This is a purva karma phalan. So after all, the indriyangal kodukkum pichai, we are all beggars. We want to have the Atma darshan. The indriyas must be very benign and very kind enough to offer this opportunity to us. So it is a pichai. So viveka and vairagya are the paramount requisites that drive the sadhaka out of aropa and vikshepa that form the creator of the jagat. Maya, the thief that steals the mind of the jivas, makes them run after pleasurable and impermanent worldly comforts. The indriyas and the mind are always focused to objects that it never even tries to take a turn inwards to assess the glory of own selves. The mind gets deceived by the illusive look of the jagat. To overcome the imaginative attitude, one must get rid of sankalpa, taking a vow to get this and that. He must get disengaged and disentangled from these bondages connected to worldly pleasure. The tendency will naturally keep one away from indriyas and the mind. Indriyas are the pirates in the samsara sagar. One must be vigilant about these cruel agents that drives one away from his original sankalpa of purushartha. Desires and anger are the products of rajoguna, and they are struck with violent anger and starvation, waiting for a grab. Desire and anger sheaths the Chaitanya Atma, and one needs to discover it. Mind is the Atisthana for desires, anger, and all other evil thoughts. This karma, the passion, only obscures the brilliance of Atman within. Indriyani mano buddhisya tis tamaschutyatem is the text from Bhagavad Gita. The first step towards the strive for mumukshutva is the exercise of control over senses and the mind. Mind must follow nitya anitya vivekam, atma anatma vivekam, satya anrutya vivekam, etc. One must keep contemplating upon the higher planes, and that he must renounce all that he thinks as his goings in this lower plane. Akratu is a term we find in Vedanta that refers to a person freed from desires and moha. The status makes one calm like still water and is able to vividly see the image clearly. Mumukshu has a full control on his senses and mind, and he enjoys this state as Aham Brahmasmi. To visualize this sacred and brilliant Atman within is the fruit of a gain due to Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. The mind has taken a total retirement from the phenomenal world. Akratu is the word that brings about this meaning. A lot of information could be imbibed by being addicted to academic reading and understanding, but this will not equal any actual experience that one achieves by all these exercises. A mere reading and understanding will not get the pleasure of an experience of living as the one what the Vedas and scriptures preach. So I think we are now to an extent covering the detailed meaning of what is Anoraniyan, Mahato Mahiyan, and also Dhadu Prasadan is a very important key word in this. After all, your Indriya and the mind should be benign enough to retract itself into its own self, to look into the inner engineering aspect of the mind. Then alone the prasada, the benefit of realizing the Atman or its sakshatkara is at least is able to be made an attempt. Therefore, the spiritual masters say, particularly our Acharya, Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swami gives a explanation as based on Adi Shankara's version, that it is all the Dhadu Prasadhan, the Indriya's benign nature. And this benign nature, it's a thing that one should try to make it up. So you should bring the mind and the indriyas under our control. So that will again in turn help us reach the goal of Purushartha. So with this, we shall end the episode and having completed the full meaning of this mantra. Let us proceed to next mantra, that is 21, in the next coming episode. Thank you. Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sahavityam Karavavahai Tejaspinavati Samatma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti